Today we're speedrunning Dan the Man, and we'll start our speedrun as soon as we press play on the first level. Right away we're going to get this little cutscene, which we're going to skip since I don't really care, and you'll see the general movement we're going to be doing throughout this run, which is mostly doing these downwards kicks. What those do is give us an extra burst of speed every time we do one, so when we're doing these platforming sections, we want to get as many of those out as possible. Then right away we'll get into one of the fighting sections, where you can see we'll be combining things like using projectiles, up kicks, down kicks, all sorts of things to try to get some fast damage and take out the enemies. Since we're only on the first world, the enemies are going to be a lot easier now than they will later on in the speedrun, but we'll get to those when we get to those. Now, in general, you can see, yeah, I'm still doing these downwards kicks, and I'm also doing the upwards kicks. What those do is give you just a tiny bit of extra time in the air, so that can be used for some different platforming sections, making sure we hit specific areas. Like right here, I'll do an upwards kick, be able to make it onto that cliff. We also want to make sure we grab that flaming knife because the projectiles are really good in this game, and we'll get our last fighting section of this first level. Now, what I like to do for this fighting section is pretty much only rely on the projectiles. I'll stay towards the right of the area because as soon as we're done with this fight, then I can go finish out the level, and I'll do some jumps to hit the guys on the top, as well as stay on the ground and hit the guys on the bottom to finish out that part. Finally, we can move over to the right, get another cutscene, and that's going to be the first level done in 1 minute and 30 seconds, which means we're on to stage 1-2, and again, it's going to start out with a cutscene that we skip. And then we get a look at the Resistance, who I think for right now we're helping out, but then later in the story we go against them. I don't know, it's weird. And by helping them out, I mean doing literally everything for them. They don't even fight. We have to do this all by ourselves, but I guess they're nice guys, at least for now. Anyways, what we want to do right here is use the water to our advantage. You'll see that when I do hit the water, I do take an extra bit of damage, but I get a pretty high jump, and it's not going to kill me, so we don't want to wait out in a lot of these sections and instead just go forward with it. Now, once we make it to this area, we can also just take the water again, but we will have to wait out this platform. No matter what you do, you kind of just have to wait. It takes a little bit of extra time, and we can also take out that statue which has a TV. Now, we won't be taking the items from there just yet, but they do come in very important later in the run. For now though, we took out another group of guys. We can go make that jump right there, take out that dude too, and just go with the water because we don't want to wait for the annoying clouds. And now what we want to do here is use our gun, especially on the shield guys. They're very annoying, but the gun does go through their shields, so it's an easy way to take them out. We can move on and make it over to this cave, which is going to be a little bit more cramped. There's going to be a couple of guys we got to take out, or I guess we don't have to take these guys out. Just if they're in the way, I might as well hit them a little bit. Mostly, unless we're in one of the fighting sections, we don't want to waste our time taking out the minions, just because they're kind of a waste of time. And while I'm doing this fight, I do want to give a shout out to Creo Cards. Basically, for the last year, there's been a project in production called Creo Cards, where me and 10 other speedrunners have our very own trading cards. They're really cool, as you can see on the side of the screen as I'm unpacking them, and each one of the speedrunners has a total of 5 different cards. My personal favorite is this one, which is my legendary card. It's me holding a Cyndaquil. And yeah, if you want to go check it out, I'll leave the link in the description, and I would appreciate if you used my creator code EazySpeezy to support me. But anyways, that's the end of that level, and now we can move on to the last one of this world. In each of the worlds, there are only going to be 3 levels, and the third one is always going to be a boss stage, but we do have to platform our way over to the boss stage first. Also, one important thing you saw right there is sometimes there are things that are cycle based, like these clouds. We have to make their cycles so we can be a bit faster. We missed that one right there and lost a bit of time, but yeah, always want to be keeping track of the cycle and just making sure you go, especially with these floating platforms, tons of stuff. And I'm also going to grab that TV item right there, which is going to be a rocket launcher. That's going to be really nice once we make it over to the boss, because he's going to take much more damage than all these small fries. By the way, I think I kind of touched on it, but as you've been seeing, our main sources of damage are doing the upwards kick, which does 40 damage, and 2 downwards air kicks, which does a total of 60. So yeah, when we get in a fighting section, that's going to take out enemies pretty easily, especially as we are early on in the game. But we'll go past these guys right here. I do want to just take the damage because it would take way too long waiting for that platform, and I can just go right through, make it over to this flying platform, which will go jump onto the other one, and finally make it out of this cave. So we've been making pretty good time, but now we have another one of the fighting sections. There's going to be a couple of guys, and there's going to be people both on the top platform and the bottom platform. Now, unfortunately, Dan the Man does not have the greatest jumping skills in the world, so we do have to use the flying platforms to go from one to the other. So I just want to be in a good area at all times so I can hit all the different guys. Like these guys, they're going to show up on the left. We can take care of them, and there's only going to be one more person who I can just kick to death, and we can move on and going over to the right again. At this point, we're almost to the end and to our first boss, which yeah, we're doing pretty well. We will just ignore all these people. I might as well get a health up. We can see a bunch of dead people, unlucky for them, And we will also open this TV, which gives us another gun, but it isn't as good as our rocket launcher, so that's mainly what we're going to use here. We'll rocket launcher the guy and then do 2 of our jump kicks. And oh my gosh. Okay, that kind of sucks. We got really unlucky there because I'm pretty sure this guy only needs 1 more hit to take out. We can just rocket launcher him 1 more time. So yeah, that jumping move was annoying, but that is going to be our first boss done. And now we can move on to world 2. Like I said, each one of these worlds is going to have a total of 3 levels, and there will be a total of 4 worlds. And once we go to a different world, it's going to be pretty different. Like for this one, we're now in the castle area, but now that we're on to some of the later levels, we pretty much always want to get some of these statues because the guns are going to be extremely helpful. We're going to start encountering stronger enemies, and guns just take them out pretty easily. So yeah, just a good strategy. So now we're on to this spot, and you can see there are now people with armor. There are a lot more people with guns, and guns are one of the most annoying things in this game when an enemy has them. You'll see it a bit later, but they can do so much damage to us, and I just want to make sure I take those guys out as soon as possible. I will also take this TV. That's just some more bullets. I'll always take that. And we just get to walk through this entire place. One interesting thing to notice, by the way, is how much the king loves himself. Throughout this entire city, or I guess castle, whatever it is, there are tons of statues, gargoyles, everything that is just the king. I don't even know why we're helping this guy out. He kind of seems like a jerk, but you know, I gotta do whatever I'm doing because I am Dan the Man. So at this point now we just want to head upwards, and we also want to use these umbrella things. I think those are umbrellas, right? I mean, they're not really umbrella, whatever, I'm not gonna go into it, but we want to use those to jump up because they can give us some extra jump height. But what we have to do when we do touch them is hold up, and that's what's going to give us the extra jump height, like right there. Then we can wait out that platform, start moving over to the right, and see a bunch more guys that I don't really care about, I'm gonna be honest. Soon we'll make it into this area. I'm just gonna skip the TV. We have enough bullets, and I'm not too worried about it right now. And you can also notice that this entire castle is also burning on fire, but I also don't have time to worry about that. I'm gonna take this, which unfortunately is just a turkey, but like I said, we do have enough bullets. We can take this guy out pretty easily. The big guys are usually a lot harder, but with guns, they can't really do too much. And that is going to be the end of 2-1, so we can move on to 2-2. Now for this one, it actually starts us out without a cutscene. I kind of forgot for a second, so I stood there for like half a second. But anyways, this one now introduces dogs, which is really sad. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like hurting dogs even in video games. Like, these guys look so sweet, but to be fair, I'm not actually sure if they are dogs or if they're like cyborg dogs. So hey, maybe you guys don't have to hate on me for this. Look, sometimes you gotta kick the puppies. Anyways, along with the dogs, there's also a lot more fire, and one good thing about the fire is we can actually knock people into it if they don't keep hitting me. Stop being annoying, guys. But yeah, if you do knock an enemy into the fire, that will be a one-hit kill, so it's pretty much always worth it if we can do it fast. You also might have noticed I did charge attacks during that fight, and that just happens when you hold the attack button. It does a ton of damage and can also go through shields, so we're going to use it a lot throughout the run. But for now, we just have to go past some more flaming areas, not really worrying about that until we make it into this arena where I want to open that jar, which is going to give us a gun. And like I said, guns are way too good in this game, especially this gun, because it will go through the enemies, and if there's an enemy behind them, it will hit them both. We won't really be using that strategy in this part because these guys are kind of split up. A little annoying, but we got them done pretty easily, and we can move over to the right again where there's going to be more fire, and apparently I really like getting hit by the fire. Look, you know, sometimes it just feels good, I guess. Anyways, now we're onto these platforms. We want to time our jumps so we can make it to the next platform while it's going down, and doing that, we can make it through there, also get some more bullets because might as well, and then also miss that, but at least we made it the second try. And there's just going to be one more of these jumps. I will shoot this guy because otherwise he might be annoying. We can wait this out just a tiny bit to make sure we have enough height and keep moving over. We also want to wait for these clouds because they're kind of an annoying pattern, and if we miss them, we're surely going to die, which I wouldn't really like. But now time to go into the ground where there's just a bunch of spikes. I don't know what the king used this for, and I'm not exactly sure if I want to know. And this section is really interesting because it's full of both dogs and these drones. Now the drones are pretty easy to take care of. You just have to do 2 air kicks, and that will do 80 damage, taking them out. And then for the dogs, we want to use our gun so we can hit multiple of them at the same time, and also takes them out pretty easily. Now we can head down here where we really don't want to die, but then I did. But that's fine because we do have a revival potion, but please do not have me die again because then we would have to go back to the last checkpoint. Thankfully, we made it up here. Now we can skip that cutscene and end off another level, which means it's time for our next boss fight level. But again, we have to do some more platforming before we get there. And we also, okay, that was actually a really good weapon. So that's another rocket launcher, which will be very good once we make it to the boss. But before there, it's just taking out these guys. We have another little arena battle, and I try to get them all in the same area, but sometimes they just want to be annoying. Like this guy on the right, he's literally making fun of me right now. It really hurt my feelings, so I'm gonna make sure I murder him. That's what you get for hurting my feelings. Then we start having some jetpack guys. They're pretty much the same as the drones, maybe even a little worse. And I think with this drone, that should be it. No, there's even more guys. Okay, yeah, this is a very long section where we just have to take care of so many people. But okay, now it's these two dogs, and this will be the last bit. So I can kick them a couple of times, get a little bit more damage, and that's going to be them done. Now we can finally head over to the right, where for once, it's not going to be on fire. There's actually water here. Who would have guessed that this terrible play... Oh, never mind. We're back to fire. Well, I mean, it was good while it lasted. But yeah, pretty much same idea. We're using these umbrellas, which I know are not umbrellas. Somebody in the comments is going to get so mad at me for calling them that. But we can go through, and we also just got more bullets for our rocket launcher. That is very nice. We're going to pretty easily be able to take out this boss, at least if we can get there. Now, I want to make it through here, get hit by the fire. It doesn't really matter too much. We still have a revival potion, and hopefully we'll get some more healing. I don't want to use my revival potions, mostly because it wastes time. You have to wait out the entire animation of getting revived, but if we have to, it's not too big of a deal. Also, for this fight, it is very annoying because there's not many spots to stand, and for a lot of this, we have to wait for the people to come over to us. Otherwise, we're gonna get hit by the fire, like what just happened right there. Okay, that's fine. We can take out that dog. That is going to be the last one. We can continue over to the right. I am going to take this apple because I am very low on health, but I believe we're pretty close to the boss right now. We just have a little bit longer to go. There is going to be this platforming, a bunch of guys falling from the sky. I don't know how they aren't breaking their legs, but I guess to be fair, we're also not breaking our legs when we fall from really high up, so I guess this world just doesn't have fall damage. Anyways, that was not good. We just got hit. We are about to die, but we can go up here. There's going to be a couple more of these guys, which we can do 2 jumps to. That was embarrassing. Yeah, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Go right back up here. Only lost like 10 seconds, but oh my gosh, I cannot do this for some reason. There we go, finally. Anyways, time for another fight. I am going to use a bit of my rocket launcher and I guess also get hit. But like I said, I'll use a bit of my rocket launcher. We have enough bullets to where I'm not really worried, and it will help us take out this section a bit faster, so why not? Then we move on to these dudes. I can kick them in the air twice. Hit that dude, take another dude out, give him a little throw. Pretty much anytime you see me throwing a guy, it will be an accident. It takes a while to do the entire animation, so it's not usually worth it. But it's easy to get into the throw animation on accident because all you have to do is brush up against the guy for a second and then press either up or one of your side buttons. But anyways, we made it over to the boss, and you'll see that this guy just has a bunch of these dogs and is trying to murder us with them. Now, what we want to do for this is make sure he can't hit us with this spinny attack. Otherwise, that will do a lot of damage, so I want to dodge that. And of course I don't, but that's fine because usually it is going to take 2 cycles anyways. And we can finish out the guy just by coming over to the left, hitting him with a rocket launcher, and that's going to be our second boss fight done. Only 2 more to go. There was a big explosion with that too. I really hope the dogs didn't die, but also not my problem. So now with World 3, we're on to the sewer levels, and these levels are probably either the hardest or tied with the last world for the hardest levels. A big part about that is it is so cramped in here. It's easy to hit the sewage water and get a lot of damage on you. There are some annoying things like these timed platforms, which sometimes I mess up as well, and the enemies really start getting difficult at this point. Like this guy, he's in full protective armor. Still not enough to do too much to us, but definitely enough if I'm not careful. So I will start taking these guys out. Please stop rolling around. It is very annoying. I don't know why I don't have a dodge button. Everybody's always dodging past me. Meanwhile, I just kind of have to accept it, but that should be it for those guys. Oh, by the way, you also do see these shops. I haven't mentioned those before. Basically, you can use your money to buy either food or other weapons, but usually they take way too much time. We don't want to waste the time, so might as well just skip them. Now we're on to this fight, and one thing I really need to be careful about is these guys with guns. If you get shot by these guys, you won't just get hit once, but multiple times, and before it has killed me, so yeah, I am very careful about them. And now after this, we have kind of a puzzle. I guess this isn't a puzzle. It's just waiting for those guys to move out of the way. And after that, now we're into kind of like a mini boss, but not really, because all we have to do is use our charge attack twice. Like I said, the charge attack is really good for enemies with shields and those big guys especially, because usually you only have to do it like 2 or 3 times and you get through it pretty easily. Now we have a moving platform. There's also going to be this bat. I'm not too worried about him, and hopefully we get a weapon, but instead we just got a turkey dinner. Sometimes the health is nice to get from those statues, use, but usually I do like a gun because it would make sections like this much faster to get through, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. By the way, one important thing is I will especially be using the strategy of trying to hit these guys into the fire in this stage. Like I said before, if we hit them into the fire, it's a one-hit kill, and it is off to the side, so I'm not able to get as much as I would like to, but you can get a couple of these dudes this way. Other than that, though, we can just kick them like usual. And now we have a section where I've messed up a few times, wasted like 30 seconds on here before, so I'm just going to be kind of careful with my platforming. We'll make it onto here, not really worry about that bat. Wait out these balls because they would hit us in a direction and then we would probably fall off. And we can go through here. I will just be making my way until we make it to another checkpoint. All right, pretty good. And now another ball section. I don't want to wait out this entire thing though, so I will jump right here, except that wasn't a jump. We only did our kick in the air. Okay. Anyways, we can open that, get a gun. Finally, we got one of these, and it comes in at the perfect time because it's right where a fight is. Now, I will use this. The sad thing about this gun over our other one, though, is it doesn't go through the guys. So that means we can't hit multiple people with the same gunshot, but it's still a pretty good gun, and it's not like I'm going to complain. Now we have these guys. I meant to charge attack him, and then they use their stomp. So the stomp is one of the most annoying things because no matter where you are in their vicinity, it will cause you to get knocked down, which that wastes time. And if we're using one of our charge attacks, it makes us have to repeat it. So yeah, I want to take these guys out much faster than they can take me out. And we got through those guys pretty easily. And now we made it to the end of the level, another cutscene that we get to skip. And finally, we're on to stage 3-2, which starts us out in another sewer. But this time there's electricity everywhere. I don't know who wired this electricity, but it seems like a lot of work. I don't know why you would do this. Either way, though, the electricity is also going to be a thing that we can knock people into. So you can see, just like the fire, it one-hit kills them. So it is perfect for that, making this fight go just a bit faster. And there's also the gun guy. I do not want to get hit by those shots, but we can hit that guy into the electricity. He deserves it. And we'll throw that guy out of the way before moving back to the right, getting pretty lucky with that electricity, but then also hitting the nasty sewer water. Which, by the way, the sewer water in this game is disgusting. It's so brown. There's like shoes, bubbles coming up out of it. I wouldn't want to be here. But hey, I guess that's Dan the man's problem, not mine. Anyways, there's also this guy following me. He's kind of good at this. Usually they get hit by the electricity or something, but there he goes. Now he got hit by one of the spiked balls. And we can make it through here without worrying about the electricity. That was kind of perfect timing before going down here. Now I am a little low on health. Like I said before, we don't want to use our revival because it will waste a bit of extra time. So I'll just try to play this smart. There's going to be the shield guy. Okay, please, dude. There you go. Get taken out. With the shield guys, if you just go behind them, you can take them out that way. But yeah, they're just a little annoying. I do definitely want to get a little bit of extra health here. That's a turkey. Not the best thing in the world, but it's all right. And now we're on to this fight. Now, normally what I would love to have is a gun, because there is going to be the electricity that goes through halfway. If you have a gun, you can shoot through the electricity without going to the other side, so we can beat this part just a bit easier, but we still got it done pretty fast. And now at this point, there's a big guy. I am going to want to make sure that I dodge his stomp attack, because that would be a bit annoying. I can jump up here. We want to dodge this guy, which we somehow got through. Perfect. And now we can just jump up here, go through the different electricity. I will also take this health up, which that was actually a gun, and it also hit us upward. That could have been very bad, but I guess it works out. But yeah, we're really getting to the hard parts of the platforming. There's so much electricity, fire going on at the bottom, and enemies that if we do get hit by them, we're going to get hit off, and that will waste a bit of time, so we don't want that to happen. But we've made it through here. I will wait out this electricity because it was kind of awkward timing. And now we're almost on to the last bits of the level. But before we get there, we have this fight. I can also open that jar, which is going to give me a little bit of food. I will take that. And yeah, we just want to take these guys out. There's a guy on the left that's shooting guns, and he was very annoying, but I think I was able to shoot him, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. And yeah, I'm just going to use my gun to take out these guys as well. But okay, we took him out. We just almost died. I will take this health up, which will be a full health up. That's actually really helpful. And now we have a couple more of these drones. The drones, like usual, are easy to take out. You just do 2 kicks in the air or one of those moves and then get hit by bats. Come on, bats, stop being annoying. Oh, by the way, the bats are not something we have to take out. We just don't have to worry about them. But now for the last bit of this run, we can just use a couple of charge attacks on these dudes. I will knock him out first, hit one of those, and then hit the other one, and that is going to be all the enemies for 3, 2 done. We can finally just move over to the right, get into another cutscene, and finish out that level. So we're on to our third boss stage, and right away this one starts out with a very long fall. I was talking about fall damage earlier in this game, and it's very good that there isn't any, because my boy would definitely have broken his legs. I guess all the training he's been through makes sure that he never breaks his legs, so pretty impressive, not gonna lie. But it pretty much just combines everything we've already dealt with. There's the dogs, there's the electricity, a bunch of sewer water. It's a lot of stuff going on, and definitely a difficult level, but we should be able to get it done. It also has one of the coolest bosses in this game, so I'm excited for that fight. But for now, we actually got the perfect cycle through these, where we got the platform showing up at just the right time so we don't have to deal with the electricity. And then we also get a statue thing, which is going to be a rocket launcher. And like I've said many times before, that will be good for the boss of the stage. Unfortunately, we can't use it on these guys though, because we do want to save it. So I will have to take these guys out normally. And there's a lot of guys on the ground, so I'm going to use a charged punch there, do another one. Please get in the vicinity. Okay, please do not kill me. He's trying to shoot me, but the charge punch was able to punch through the shots, so that was actually really nice. All right, dude, just get taken out. And there's still another group of guys. They really are starting to add just more and more people that we have to take out. A little annoying, but I think this dude is the last one. We'll kick him, and nope, I guess there's also the jetpack guys. Look, there's a lot of stuff you have to remember in this game, but we make it through there, smash through that door, get another checkpoint, and skip another shot. Now for here, this unfortunately is just a part where you have to wait. There's not too much you can do about it for this level, and unfortunately for this level, there are a lot of waiting sections. It just is what it is, not the best for a speedrun, but it's pretty much the only level in the game that has it this bad. Okay, maybe not. You'll see some more later, but whatever. We're gonna worry about this for now. I'll open that up, get a regular gun. That'll be nice for just the groups of guys we have to take out. And here's a pretty fun part, because basically what happens here is you have to choose which one of these areas to go down. And I mean, obviously it's going to be the one with coins. There is one right here though that we could take the left path and get a bunch more coins, but it would take more time, so we're not doing that. And now we're on to another waiting section where there are all these spiked balls. They go up to the ceiling, and yeah, we kind of just have to wait them out. The only thing we have to make sure we do is not mess up, otherwise we'll waste a lot more time, but we will have to go all the way up so we can go above them before then going all the way back down. Like right here, we could have made that if it weren't for the spiked balls, but yeah, they just really feel like being annoying. But finally, we get one of those jumps. You'll also see that we get some fire knives, and I always like me some fire knives. But now it's time to go back down, which is pretty easy. I would say going down is probably easier than going up, because there's not really platforming you have to do. Now we'll make it over here. Normally I would get this turkey, that's extra health, and we have to wait out these spike balls anyways, but okay, right as I was about to say that we had full health, of course it gets taken out. Anyways, it is time for the boss. I am gonna take this, which is just money. Not really exactly what I wanted, but we finally get onto the boss fight, which is going to be this guy, and I don't exactly know what he's supposed to be, but he's a pretty cool fight, like I said before. First phase, we just want to hit him with a bunch of these knives. That takes him out, gets him really angry, and he teleports us to another spot. Then for this stage, he's going to use multi-shadow clone jutsu, have multiple people go into their own sections, and have them all hit down on the ground at different times. We can dodge those though, and then go dodge him, hit him twice, or I guess only once. Okay, usually you have enough time to hit him twice, so that was a bit annoying, but I guess that's fine. And then we can hit this guy. I'm gonna use a charged attack. Okay, I've never tried using a charged attack before that moment. I thought we could get some extra damage in. I guess it was a bad idea. We're just going to use a regular rocket launcher. I don't care anymore. Anyways, he's going to get angry again. We're going to go into his next phase, and this one is very easy. What we have to do for this is position ourselves where he's going to be. I can use my rocket launcher, and it only took one that time, so that was easy. And he puts us back into this phase, so we want to take back out our knives, except I'm bad. Okay, anyways, so we want to take back out our knives. That's going to hit him a couple times. He's going to have another temper tantrum, just like he normally does. Throws us down and gets us into this section again. Now we just have to wait this out. He is going to use all of those guys' attacks at the same time, so it's a bit harder, but still not too bad. We can just rocket launcher him. And yeah, he has those two different attacks, one where they all do it at different times and one where they all do it at the same time. Both aren't too bad, and we can rocket launcher him again, moving him on to his last phase. In this one, since we don't have the rocket launcher, might take a bit longer than I would like it to. Okay, that wasn't the best. and he uses a really big ball there. Okay, please do not murder me. I would very much appreciate it, but I think we can hit him right there. That's going to take him out, and that's going to be our third boss done, meaning we only have one more world to go. So yeah, pretty good, and a pretty good time of 550 for that level. So moving on to our fourth and last world, we have a cutscene we're going to skip, and the gimmick for this one after we get through that cutscene is a bunch of falling furniture. I don't know if people are throwing this furniture down or if it's just like the place is getting wrecked, but we want to make sure we dodge it because otherwise it will hit us back down to the bottom and waste some of our time. So I'm pretty careful in this section, especially because if you do fall down, it wastes a ton of time and it's just not worth it to rush. So like right here, I'll wait it out for just a second, jump over that spiked ball, wait out that piece, and there's only one more of these. We should be able to make this jump. Okay, that almost went terribly. I mean, it works out, and we also got a gun, so that's cool. Okay, let's not have that happen again. That would have been the biggest fall that I've ever had in that level. But anyways, we're just gonna go through some more guys. Just like usual, we're ignoring them. They're not that cool. And we just have to go onto these different platforms. There's gonna be another one of these timed ones along with these balls. I think I have to make that jump, and I don't even know how I did that. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but thankfully it did. And now we're on to an auto scroller. So with this auto scroller, we kind of just have to wait for the train to move. It isn't exactly an auto scroller, but yeah, you can't do too much to speed it up. There's gonna be a bunch of bats that are trying to hit us, but they're also terrible at their jobs. Kind of embarrassing. And there's also going to be this person who's drinking some sort of alcohol and probably shouldn't be operating a train. I don't know who hired this person, and I don't know if I feel safe going on this train ride with them. But to be fair, they only have to go straight forward. I just don't understand why they aren't getting hit by any of these things. Meanwhile, we have to dodge them all. I'm just a little jealous, all right? I'll admit it. Anyways, we should be at about the end of this train ride. We just have to take out a couple more of these bats. There's going to be some people who jump out of like the fire, or maybe they were in the train, and we have this electricity to go through. And now at this point, what I do want to do is throw myself in the fire. Because we have a revival potion, it actually will be faster to just tank all of this damage than wait out the train because it takes so long to move. So yeah, that was a pretty long section done, and now we just have to make it through some more people, like that guy. He had a shield, and I also couldn't jump in the air, so I just decided to use one of my charged attacks. We can also go take another one of these revival potions, which is actually really nice because I'm a bit worried about my health. It's not the greatest. And you'll also see in this last world, there are tons of these lasers that are moving around. We have to not get hit by them. That's a perfect example of getting hit by them. They even murder their friends like those drones. And we'll also wait out this, get another turkey Thanksgiving dinner, make it through this guy until we go onto an elevator where we kind of just get to hang out. Yeah, the elevators are a break point. Not too much to say here, but now it is time to dodge all of these bombs. The bombs are super annoying because we have to be very careful to not get hit by them. Not only will it send us backwards, but it also does a good amount of damage, so we do not want that to happen. We're also going to skip that elevator ride completely because it wastes a bit too much time. Now finally, we're on to this part. There's tons of bombs and also this moving platform that we're going to have to ride, and we can take it over. Then there are going to be some of these clouds we have to jump on, so I will go through these and then finally go onto another moving platform with another one of these spiked moving balls. There is so much going on in this game at this point before now we make it on to our next combat section, or after I get hit by that bomb for no reason. This combat section is really annoying though. To hit the people who are on these platforms that are slightly above us, you'll see that we have to jump. We can't just use our projectiles, and it's kind of hard to hit them sometimes, so waste a bit of time. And yeah, it's not too bad, except when this guy with the shield wants to be really annoying, and then that guy comes through. Okay, there is actually a lot going on right now, but like usual, I can just hit them into the water or into the bombs, and that will take care of them. It's just a bit harder for this section, especially with these guys with the guns. Now we have these dudes who, yep, pretty much just the same thing. Gonna hit them with a couple of these. We also got a secret item. I guess I'll take an apple. It's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, do not hit me with that again. That could have been very bad, but there we go. That's all those people down. And now we just have a little bit longer on this level, but before that we have some more bombs to dodge and some more falling furniture, which is also on fire. I just noticed that it's on fire. But yeah, we'll make it through there, get another gun. That guy somehow made it all the way up without getting hit until right there where he did get hit. And I believe this is the last part of the level where we just have to take out a couple more people, especially this big guy. He's annoying, so like usual, we got to take him out with the charge attacks, do 80 damage every single time. And I definitely don't want to use my revival potion right here because it will just waste too much time. So instead, we'll try to hit them with everything we got, not get hit ourselves. And finally, we can take this elevator ride up. Then as soon as we move over to the left, we're going to have another cutscene and we're going to finish out yet another level. Now we're on to 4-2, and this one is a very interesting level because we're going to have a gigantic death laser following us the entire time. And it doesn't care about its friends, by the way. It will kill these other people too. Now, the nice thing is, if this was a Mario game, I could definitely see this being an auto-scroller. But luckily, this is Dan the Man, and they decided that you can go past the laser. You don't have to see it at all times of the day. And yeah, it's still coming after us. We just have no idea where it is. So yeah, we'll just jump through these guys like usual. They're not really guys we want to deal with. I do not know how they aren't dying, but I guess they are going to die now because that laser is not going to show them any mercy. Then some more shield guys. I want to make sure I don't bounce off their shields because that's what just happened there. Okay, that was a really weird pattern. I've not seen that before. And yeah, not too much to say about this other than we're just trying to go pretty fast. We're trying not to get hit by too many things because it is very easy to start tanking up damage, especially if... Okay, that was bad. Please let me jump up. Okay, so in the past, I've fallen into one of those chasms. They're an insta-kill. The revival potion should save you, but one of the times it didn't. So yeah, that kind of just gave me deja vu and made me think I was about to lose a lot of progress, but we made it through, so I guess I was worried for nothing. Anyways, after that terrifying event, the laser is not following us anymore because it's like, oh, he has to go in an elevator. I guess we shouldn't be rude and like rush him, you know? And instead, we just have one of these sections where there's a bunch of falling things. And also, I'm just noticing, look at that picture of the dog. It's so cute. Anyways, okay, so we want to do and prepare some of our hits onto these big guys because like usual, they take a bunch of hits to take care of. We can finish that guy out with a kick. And there's also going to be the other dudes, which are just like normal. We want to hit them with our normal stuff. It would be very nice if we had a gun right now, but unfortunately, we just kind of got to hope we can take them out pretty easily. But yeah, there are a ton of people in this level. So many things we have to take out. Now there are drones, but actually I prefer the drones because we can hit them all at the same time just with a single kick. So actually give me more drones. I'm not going to complain. And I believe we're almost done with this final bit of the level. We can kick a couple of these guys. There are going to be some more jetpack guys. I think this guy is probably the last one. No, there's one more. There's always one more. But there we go. That is going to be the end for that. So we can continue moving over to the right until we make it into this area where there are a bunch of lasers and also some platforming to dodge those lasers. Not too hard though. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just jump on some furniture, go above them, see a dead ninja. Unlucky for him. And then we have another flaming area, which I don't know why I'm going so deep in these areas. And I also don't know why there are so many enemies that aren't trying to leave, but I guess they're gonna die. They're just fine with it. Oh, also this long elevator ride is great. Basically, Dan the Man's like, well, I guess we're doing this. Even he accepts that this is a pretty long ride. Not sure why it is so long, but we're back outside, and that means that there is going to be another laser in just a second. There it goes. It shows up, and right when we make it over here, there's going to be a ton of bombs we have to dodge and one that we don't dodge. But yeah, the bombs, like usual, they'll do 30 damage. We do not want to hit them, but we also want to go by here really fast. And through here, we have all of these spike balls, which this is pretty cool engineering, whoever made these floating spike balls. Like, they must be a pretty smart guy to develop all these things. But I don't have time to worry about their handiwork because we just got to go through. There's going to be this dog, a bunch of spike. Okay, this is really annoying. Please do not murder me. A good thing, though, is you might have noticed the laser actually slows down when it gets close to you. I don't know why it slows down. I think they just don't actually want to kill us. They kind of just want to warn us. They're just like, oh, maybe you might die. Or their laser technology is just terrible. I can't really tell which. Anyways, we've now finally made it to the last parts of this level. We just have to climb up here, see the king on his toilet seat, surrounded by his men. Yeah, gotta love that guy. And finally, we are on to the very last stage of the game. We're gonna start by moving over to the right, and right away, it's going to start us out with a fight. Unfortunately, it's before we can get any guns or anything, so we're gonna have to go with the old primitive methods of throwing people in the fire. Take that guy. The only annoying guy here is the shield guy. He's kind of in a very awkward position. I'm gonna try to do... Dude, please, dude, stop using your shield. Okay, I guess he'll get knocked down. Maybe he'll be easier down here. Man, I'm just gonna use a charged attack. Anyways, after dealing with that dude, we gotta take out these guys, and that is going to be another time to go over to the right, and some more guys that we're just gonna skip. I don't know, if you saw one Dan the Man going through all your friends, taking out everybody by himself, would you go and choose to fight him too? I'd probably just run away. Like, this man is literally by himself, and he is killing everything, even our dogs. He has no mercy. Oh yeah, by the way, we have that little fighting room, and then it puts us onto a big fighting room. For some reason, it wanted to separate the two. But yeah, this one's a pretty fun one because all these guys are going to group up, at least hopefully. And there's tons of stuff that we get to take out. Some drones we get to kick to death. And yeah, overall, not too bad of an area. We also get to see another beautiful picture of one of the dogs. Hopefully it's not one of the dogs that I killed. But I mean, hey, I'm Dan the Man. I gotta do what I gotta do. But that should be the last guy. Now we can go downwards. Also take some of those shurikens, which are gonna do some good damage for us. And we can move over to the right to another really stressful room. First of all, there's going to be a lot of stuff falling from the ceiling right here. I want to make it over there. And now it's time for this fight, which is going to be a lot of drones. I'm going to kick this guy first, but okay, please, no. Okay. Anyways, so I think we can survive this. I just have to get back on solid land. That was terrifying. Okay, at least they dropped a couple of apples, so thank you, drones. I appreciate that at least, but that could have gone very badly. It also wastes our revival potion. We probably will get another one in just a second, but yeah, don't really like using those. Anyways, we finished out those dudes. That was fun. And now we can open up this, get another revival potion. See, it didn't matter. And I really want to make sure I don't fall here. It wastes so much time to fall there. And now we can go right into another elevator. And you can already see it is time for yet another train ride. Yep, we have this drunk person again. I still don't know why I'm letting them drive the train. I also wonder if they're on our side or if they're on the enemy's side, but they're just too drunk to notice that we're not one of their friends. I think they're on our side though, because the train also has the king's face on it. Anyways, this train ride is a little bit better than the last, mostly because there's going to be more sections where we can stand on things other than the train. Like right here, instead of just standing there, we get a little break to hit some people or get hit ourselves, I guess. And once we get done with that section, there is also going to be another laser coming after us. This time it's not going to slow down, so I do want to make that jump. Get a turkey as well. Might as well take the extra health. And we are so close to the end of the speed run. I've been making amazing time. This by far is the best run I've ever done. So yeah, we just have to make sure that I don't mess things up. I probably shouldn't have said that because that's usually when I mess things up. But anyways, hey, look, another laser. But then it leaves yet again. But before we can make it right to the end of this train section, we do have to dodge this stuff, or I guess get hit by bombs every once in a while. Let's not have happen again. And now we're on to this section, which is fun because we just get to go down and we can ignore all the people trying to shoot us because they're not fast enough at shooting us. Maybe if they were like better in general, they would actually hit us, but yeah, they kind of suck. We also get that weird hit of speed when you go down. I don't know why that happens, but it's pretty cool. Now also right here, you can choose. Do you want to go to the right where there are 3 bombs or the left where there's an elevator? Which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you have been enjoying this video, also subscribe. I really would appreciate it, and let me know what other games you want me to speedrun in the future. Anyways, it is time for our last section of fighting a bunch of guys. And for this one, we can use our shurikens, which have electricity on them. They're really nice for taking out people because you can't really do too much to defend yourself against electricity. And yeah, in general, it's pretty much just, hey, take out the guys. You've seen this a million times at this point. This one is really annoying though because of the layout of the place. There's a bunch of platforms that disappear after a set amount of time. There's spikes on the ceiling, water at the bottom. So many people to deal with that are coming from so many different angles. But I think this should be the last guy. Hit him off, and there we go. Now we can go on to the boss fight. So yeah, after this entire speedrun, almost 50 minutes in, it's time to face our final boss and free the people or something. I don't exactly know the story, I'm going to be honest. But it's actually going to be this guy. Again, I don't know the story. I don't know who this is. But basically, he has a gigantic robot, and to actually damage him, what we want to do is damage the robot enough so you'll see the lever thing that's on his chest. We want to get that into the red area. We can also, when he is lower to the ground, hit him with our rocket launcher. Unfortunately, we just missed it there, so we do have to wait out this electricity. But while he's using it, I might as well get some shots in. Then the robot falls, and we can get a bunch of punches in, which is going to do a good amount of damage. And then after that, pretty much the same thing. I am going to grab that, hit him with a couple of these, and why is that not working? Anyways, I guess we just have to hit the robot then? Get him to get knocked down. What is going on? Okay, so not exactly sure what that is, but I guess we can shoot the guy again. So we'll just do that at this point. And yeah, just the same thing. Hit the robot to get him really angry and to get him knocked down. And also hit the guy on the top whenever we get the chance. Also, by the way, one thing you should notice, his little dog or raccoon or whatever that is, every time we hit him, it also makes expressions. So I'll point it out next time it happens. But we should be able to make it through this. And yeah, you can see him. Look at the little guy. He has the hard hat on. He's just doing all these things. It's so cute. but only a couple more hits and we should be able to take him out. I'm going to try to use these, but of course he uses the electricity. The electricity is really hard to dodge because it just goes all over the place. And he also made me use a revival potion. Okay, but that's fine. Please hit the guy. Let's take him out as fast as possible. He only needs like a couple more hits, but now he's going to use that. And then he's using his fire attack. That's actually really bad. So the fire is annoying because now we can't go onto those sections. So instead, we're kind of just going to have to hit the robot down, wasting a bit more time than I would have liked, but we do have his lever all the way to the bottom. Also, I know that's not a lever. It's something. I don't do words, man. But anyways, as soon as we dodge this electricity, he should get knocked down. We can take him out, and there we go. That's our last boss fight done. We then get to watch him get taken out, and I also like jumping into the fire and also using this attack because then Dan the Man gets stuck in this position. And yeah, that's going to be everything done, but we can't call off time until we see that this level is completed, which is going to be now. And there we go. That's our time, 50 minutes and 40 seconds, which is also going to give us 9th place on speedrun.com. So I'll take it. All right, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.